So what if I told you that getting rich wasn't about earning more money to show it off? What if it was actually about becoming financially invisible? Society teaches you that wealth should be seen: a nice car, a big house, a social media feed full of vacations. But there's a totally different philosophy, one that says true financial power is actually built in silence. And so in today's video, we're going to explore the unspoken Machiavellian principles for building wealth so quietly that 99% of people will never even see it coming. It's about thinking and acting differently, and it'll be up to you to actually execute on it. We live in a world that celebrates success, but here's the thing: it rarely questions the mechanics behind it. The advice you always hear is a simple formula: work hard, save money, invest, and one day you'll be rich. Now that advice isn't wrong, it's just incomplete. It's the map they give to everyone, but it's not the one the people at the very top are using. It ignores some real-world factors, like envy, which is basically the biggest tax on any visible success. And it doesn't prepare you for the reality that once you have something, other people might want to take it. The traditional path makes you a target. This other path makes you a ghost. It's a philosophy that treats wealth not just as something you spend, but as a tool for control over your time, your security, and your future. It's a game played in the shadows, where the loudest person in the room is often the weakest, and true strength isn't revealed until the final move. Today we're going to deconstruct 7 Machiavellian principles of silent wealth accumulation. These are the unspoken rules that separate the quietly powerful from the visibly fragile. Prepare to see the world of money, not as you wish it were, but as it actually is. Let's get started. Principle number 1. 2. Principle No. The ghost principle, don't look rich. The first and most important principle is understanding that showing off your wealth is a liability. It's like a giant beacon that attracts everyone. You don't want people looking for handouts, opportunistic strangers, and the envious. To be fully understood is to be vulnerable. If someone can calculate your strength, they have a blueprint to your downfall. The ghost principle means you operate completely under the radar, and you let the world underestimate you. This is your greatest layer of armor. Think about the social media entrepreneur, the person constantly posting pictures of their Lamborghini, their mansion, their new watch. They aren't projecting power. They're screaming for validation. Every post is a disclosure of assets, a map for anyone who might want to exploit them. They attract people who want something from them, friends who suddenly need a loan, distant relatives with amazing business ideas. Their wealth is loud, and because of that, it's fragile. The person who masters silent wealth, on the other hand, creates an aura of ambiguity. They are a ghost in the machine. Their public life is intentionally average. They drive a reliable but unremarkable car. They live in a nice but not flashy home. Their clothes are good quality, but you won't see logos that scream how much they cost. They do this not because they're cheap, but because they are strategic. They understand that every dollar spent on signaling status is a dollar not spent on acquiring more power, more assets, and more freedom. There's a Machiavellian idea that a reputation for being overly generous is a fast path to ruin, because it drains your resources and creates an expectation you can't keep up with. Well, a reputation for being rich creates a silent tax on your life. People expect you to pick up the check. They judge you if you don't, and they might resent you if you do. You're stuck in a game you can't win. The ghost avoids this game completely. By appearing average, they move through the world without the weight of expectation. Now, this isn't about hiding, it's about strategic misdirection. The truly wealthy build what I call an invisible core of assets. This core, held in things like LLCs or trusts, spread across different assets, is the real engine of their wealth. What the world sees is just a decoy. So let them see a modest portfolio or a small business. While they're busy looking at the shadow, the real substance of your wealth is operating untouched and unseen. If your wealth is the loudest thing about you, you've already lost the game. The ghost, however, is never the loudest person in the room. They listen more than they speak. They observe while others perform, and they accumulate power. while others are busy accumulating attention. People might think they're just getting by. Let them. Their miscalculation is your strategic advantage. If this lesson clicked, comment invisible or silent below to lock it in. Now, principle number 2, the fortress principle: build a citadel of incomes. Dependence is the opposite of power. Think about it. The person who relies on a single source of income is in a weak position. A job, no matter how high-paying, is a form of dependency. You're relying on a single boss, a single company, a single industry. Your security is basically a mirage. The fortress principle is the solution to this. It's the idea that true financial security isn't built on one tall pillar, but on a wide, unbreachable foundation. You have to build a citadel of incomes, a fortress so distributed that if any one part fails, it's no big deal to the whole. And this is not about having a side hustle. That's small thinking. This is about designing an economic system of invulnerability. The average person thinks about income linearly. Get a job, get a paycheck. If they want more money, they need a raise. The silent wealth accumulator thinks in systems. They see their financial life as a fortress, with multiple walls and moats. Each income stream is like a spider leg. It's an independent structure that supports the whole. If one leg gets cut off, the spider still stands. These streams need to be modular. They shouldn't all be tied to the same thing. One leg might be a portfolio of dividend stocks, another from rental income, from properties held in separate LLCs to manage risk. A third could be royalties from intellectual property. You created a fourth from a silent partnership in a business, and a fifth from an automated e-commerce store. You can see how a stock market crash or a difficult tenant doesn't cause the entire system to collapse. And this is where the philosophy gets deeper. The goal isn't just to make more money, it's to eliminate dependencies. With each new stream of income, you buy back a piece of your freedom. When you're no longer dependent on a single paycheck, you're not afraid to speak your mind at work. You're not terrified of a layoff. Your boss's power over you shrinks because their ultimate threat, losing your livelihood, isn't a threat anymore. You've built a fortress that can withstand their siege, and this fortress must be built in silence. You don't announce your new rental property. On social media, you don't boast about your stock market gains. Each disclosure is a weakness in your wall. The world should just see you as the person with one job just like them. They'll think you're in the same fragile boat, while you're secretly captaining an unsinkable ship. If this principle resonates, comment fortress or independence to lock it in. Principle no. Principle number 3, the art of mundane. Master frugality with intent. To 99% of people, frugality is a sign of scarcity. It's about clipping coupons and skipping lattes because you can't afford them. It's a mindset of deprivation. To the Sile NT Wealth Builder. This is a complete misunderstanding of a powerful weapon. Frugality, when you do it with intent, isn't about deprivation. It's the art of strategic resource allocation. It's the conscious choice to starve vanity in order to feed power. It's safer to be seen as careful with money than as overly generous. Generosity can drain your funds, while being miserly, even if it doesn't win you friends, preserves your resources and ensures your independence. The same logic applies to your personal wealth. Every dollar spent on a flashy car or a designer watch is a dollar that could have been used to build your fortress, to acquire another income-producing asset. The practitioner of silent wealth understands this. They see a luxury SUV not as a status symbol, but as a $70,000 dividend-paying stock portfolio that was never purchased. They see a $10,000 watch not as a timepiece, but as the down payment on a rental property that was never made. They don't see these things with envy. They see them with a cold, strategic pity for the person who chose a depreciating symbol over an appreciating asset. This is the art of the mundane. It's about making your visible life look totally normal, even boring. It's about getting quiet satisfaction from knowing your balance sheet is extraordinary, while your lifestyle is not. This requires a big psychological shift. You have to detach your self-worth from the things you own and find validation in the silent, compounding growth of your net worth. Your colleagues earning the same salary will be driving new cars and taking lavish vacations. They'll wonder why you still drive your 10-year-old Toyota. They might see you as cheap. That is precisely the perception you want to cultivate. While they're caught in the lifestyle creep trap, where their expenses rise with their income. You are widening the gap between what you earn and what you spend. T-gap is your power. That gap is the capital you deploy to buy your freedom. Now, this is not a life of joyless saving. The silent wealthy spend money, but they do it with extreme intention. They will happily spend a fortune on things that buy them more time, knowledge, or meaningful experiences, especially if they can do it privately. They might hire an assistant, pay for exclusive coaching, or join a high-level mastermind group. The difference is, their spending is strategic and hidden, designed to increase their capabilities, not their visible status. You're choosing to be rich, not to look rich. If you understand why restraint beats, display comment gap or quiet power below, and lock this mindset in. Principle no. 4. The leverage equation: control over labor. The most common myth sold to the masses is that hard work is the key to wealth. Trade your time for money. They were told this is the gospel of the laborer, not the owner. Power doesn't come from your own labor. It comes from controlling the labor of others and the output of systems. True wealth is not earned. It is engineered through leverage. The leverage equation is simple. Wealth is a product of control, not effort. The person who digs a ditch with a shovel works hard. The person who owns the excavator company that employs 100% ditch diggers builds wealth. The 99% focus on improving their shoveling technique, the 1% focus on acquiring more excavators. This principle demands you do a ruthless audit of your time. Every hour you spend on a task that can be automated or delegated is an hour. You are choosing to be a laborer instead of an owner. The silent wealth accumulator is obsessed with building systems, business systems, investment systems, or technological systems. An online course that sells while you sleep is leverage. A team of freelancers executing a process is leverage. A portfolio of stocks that pays dividends is leverage. These are all mechanisms that decouple your income from your time. Money's highest and best use is to buy leverage. You don't use profit to buy a bigger house. You use it to hire your first employee. You don't use a bonus to buy a new car. You use it to buy software that automates a tedious part of your work. You are constantly buying back your time, which is the only truly finite resource. The mindset has to shift from how much can I earn to how much can I control you. Stop seeing yourself as an employee and start seeing yourself as a holding company. Me Inc. Your job is just one of your subsidiaries, and your goal is to make it increasingly irrelevant. You have to make cold, logical decisions. Is your time best spent answering emails for 8 hours or spending 2 hours designing a system that can answer them for you? The first one earns you a day's wage. The second one builds an asset that pays you forever. This is why the truly wealthy often seem to work less, or at least their work looks different. It's less about frantic activity and more about strategic thinking and decision-making. They aren't in the engine room shoveling coal. They're on the bridge steering the ship. They have escaped the trap of direct labor by relentlessly focusing on the leverage equation. If this shift in thinking, just clicked comment, control or leverage, and let it settle. And once you stop trading hours for money, the next move becomes obvious. You stop chasing attention and start quietly building influence that works for you even when you're not in the room. Principle no. 5. The silent network. Principle number 5, 6, 7. Build influence, not a following. In the modern world, people measure status by the size of their public following. 1 million followers on Instagram, 100,000 on YouTube are seen as markers of influence. Strategist looks at this and sees a herd noise equal and ultimately not that powerful. Large public following is a source of validation. OT true influence. Fifth principle is to ignore the crowd. ND instead. Build a silent network. Small EP and powerful web of high-value relationships. Public following gives you an audience. Silent network gives you access. An audience can like your post. Member of your silent network. And green light a multi-million-dollar deal. A single phone call, bruh, an audience can buy your merchandise, bruh. Network can tell you about an off-market deal, bruh. Before anyone else knows it exists, bruh. He 99% chase the former, the 1% cultivate the latter. His network is built with the same, bruh. You are at intention as your financial life, bruh. T is not about networking by going to crowded events, ND handing out business cards, bruh. T is about identifying a small number, bar, F key individuals in various fields, finance, law, technology, and building genuine BR, reciprocal relationships based on value and trust, bar. The primary rule here is to always provide value, bruh. Before you ask for it, you become a node of utility, bar. OU connect people, bruh. Ho could benefit from knowing each other. OU share valuable information, bar. Without asking for anything in return, bar. OU solve a problem for someone simply because you convert time, you build a web of individuals, bar. Ho feel a sense of loyalty to you, bruh. OT a financial debt, but a social and emotional one, BR. Hitch is far more powerful, bar. ND by definition. The silent network is private, bar. OU. Do not boast about who you know, bruh. OU don't post selfies with powerful people, bruh. O do so would be to cheapen the relationship, bruh. ND turn it into a status symbol, bruh. I. Olating the ghost principle. The power of the network is in its secrecy. It's an invisible asset, a force multiplier working for you behind the scenes. This is the direct opposite of the influencer model. The influencer needs constant validation from the crowd. Their power is fragile. The master of the silent network needs no validation. Their power is robust, resilient, and real. They understand that 1,000 acquaintances are worth less than 5 true allies. If this way of building power makes sense to you, comment quiet influence or allies, and lock it in. And once your leverage, income, and relationships no longer depend on you constantly showing up, the final evolution begins. Designing your life so that you become optional to every system you once depended on. This is the ultimate endgame. This is the final objective. Of all the other principles combined, the 99%, build a life where they are the most important part, their skills, their time, their presence. If they stop working, everything collapses. Their goal is to become indispensable. The goal here is the exact opposite, to become completely and utterly unnecessary. You must build an autonomy engine, a collection of systems so robust and self-sustaining that your daily labor becomes optional. This is the true meaning of financial freedom. It's not about having enough money to buy anything you want. It's about having systems that generate enough income to sustain your desired lifestyle without your active involvement. It's the moment you're no longer trading time for money in any capacity. Building this engine is the culmination of everything we've talked about. The fortress principle provides the multiple income streams. The leverage equation provides the systems. The businesses and automations, the art of the mundane, provides the surplus capital to build it. The silent network provides the advice and opportunities to protect it, the psychological S. Shift here is huge. You have to go from being the star player to being the owner of the team. The owner's job isn't to be on the field. It's to hire the right coach, recruit the right players, and set the strategy. Then they watch the game from the owner's box. They've made themselves unnecessary to the play-by-play. This means you must ruthlessly delegate not just tasks, but authority. You have to resist the ego's urge to be the hero who solves every problem. Your goal is to build a machine that doesn't need a hero. Every time you have to intervene in an operational issue, you should see it as a failure of system design. You analyze it and build a new process. So that specific problem never demands your attention. Again, your work becomes a process of systematically eliminating your own job. Becoming unnecessary is the final liberation. It's the moment you graduate from being a piece on the chessboard to being a player observing the entire board from above. Your time becomes your own. The engine you built just continues to run quietly and efficiently in the background. If this level of freedom is what you're aiming for, comment optional or above and let it lock in. Principle number 7, the perception war. Control the narrative. This final principle governs all the others. The game of wealth is not just played on balance sheets, it's played in the minds of other people. Whoever controls the narrative controls the outcome. The perception war is the ongoing silent campaign to manage what others think about you, or more accurately, what they don't think about you. The goal is to appear less wealthy, less powerful, and less threatening than you actually are. This is how you avoid envy and scrutiny. There's an old Machiavellian idea that a prince must appear merciful and upright, even if he isn't always so. In practice, the perception is often more important than the reality. For the silent wealth accumulator, the idea, perception is one of harmless mediocrity. You're the grey man, unremarkable, and easily overlooked. This is a war fought with subtlety. When someone talks about their new luxury car, you don't counter with a story about your investment portfolio. You might mention how you're trying to save a little extra to fix your aging car's transmission. When colleagues discuss their expensive vacations, you can talk about a simple camping trip you took. You consistently and deliberately downplay your financial status. Why is this so critical? Because envy is a corrosive force. When people envy you, they subconsciously want you to fail. They will celebrate your misfortunes and scrutinize your every move. By controlling the narrative and appearing non-threatening, you neutralize envy before it starts. You give them no target. This principle requires the ultimate emotional discipline. The human ego craves recognition. It wants to show off. You have to wage a war against your own ego every single day. You have to find satisfaction in your hidden power, not in public acclaim. You have to be the person who knows they've won the game, but tells no one. You let others have the spotlight. Let them feel like they are the ones on top. While you hold the actual power, think of it as a form of psychological jujitsu. You use the world's obsession with status against itself while everyone else is fighting. To climb the slippery pole of public perception, you are quietly digging a tunnel underneath it. You control the narrative by having no interesting narrative to report. You are just a regular person living a regular life. This is the ultimate deception and the final layer of your armor. So my main takeaway today is that the path to silent wealth is a rejection of the loud, performative success that society celebrates. It is a conscious choice to trade applause for autonomy, status for security, and recognition for resilience. They walked through these 7 principles, from the strategic invisibility of the ghost to the defensive might of the fortress and the ultimate freedom of the autonomy engine. These are not easy principles. They require a cold discipline, a detachment from ego, and a willingness to play a long game that few have the patience for. They demand you find your sense of accomplishment, not in the envy of others, but in the silent, steady growth of your own freedom. The world is designed to keep you on a hamster wheel. Earning, spending, and displaying this path is the escape. It is the realization that true wealth is not what you show. It's the power you hold in silence. I do want to leave you guys with one sobering thought, though, which is to think deeply about why you want to be that rich. Because if you do end up becoming richer than 99% of people, you want to make sure you did it in a way where you aren't hating 90% of your waking hours. If these principles are challenging your view of wealth, that's the point. If you want to continue exploring this more strategic side of wealth and influence, subscribe to this channel and click the notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video. All right.